Hello and welcome friends. In this particular video we're gonna talk about the 5 major atrocities of US military organization. This is not any kind of violation against state or any institution, but of course if they are doing wrong and we must should put our words. Here we look back at the 5 other shocking incidents that left their mark on America's military history. What incidents are we missing? Leave your comment down below. So the first atrocity of American soldiers is No Gun Rig Korea. In 1950, the United States intervened in the Korean War in defense of South, but its forces were undertrained and underprepared according to the BBC. The North's attack created a severe refugee crisis, and as thousands of Koreans closed at the battlefield as they fled war-torn areas, the US forces panicked. On the same day that the US Army delivered a stop refugee order in July 1950, around 400 South Korean civilians were killed in the town of Nogan-ri by US forces from the 17th Cavalry Regiment. The soldiers armed. They thought the refugees could include discussed North Korean soldiers. Many refugees were shot, while on or under a stone bridge that ran through the town. Others were attacked with bombs and machine gun fire from US planes. The BBC reported the ordeal lasted for 3 days, according to local survivors and members of the cavalry. There was a lieutenant screaming like a madman, "Fire on everything! Kill him all!" Veteran Joy Jackman recalled, according to the BBC, "I didn't know if they were soldiers or what kids. It didn't matter what it was. 8 to 80. Blind, crippled or crazy, they shot him all." The Associated Press broke the news of massacre in September 1999. It has come to be known as one of the largest single killing of civilians by American forces in 20th century. Next, we will head to the My Lai Massacre, Vietnam. On March 16, 1968, the angry and frustrated men of Charlie Company, 11th Brigade American Division entered the Vietnamese village of My Lai. This is what you've been waiting for: search and destroy. And you have got it, said their superior officers. It sent a shockwave through the US political establishment, the military's chain of command, and an already divided American public. Poised for conflict, My Lai lay in the South Vietnamese district of San Mai, a heavily mined area where the Viet Cong were deeply entrenched. Numerous members of Charlie Company had been maimed or killed in the area during the preceding weeks. William Kelly entered the village poised for engagement with their elusive enemy. Let's talk about the massacre. As the search and destroy mission unfolded, it soon degenerated into the massacre of over 300 apparently unarmed civilians, including women, children, elderly. Kelly ordered his men to enter the village firing through there had been no report of opposing fire. According to eyewitness reports offered after the event, several old men were bayoneted, praying women and children were shot in back of the head, and at least one girl was raped and killed. For this part, Kelly said to have rounded up a group of villagers, ordered them into a ditch, and mowed them down in a fury of machine gun fire. Number 3. Torture at Abu Ghraib. In the looting that followed regime's collapse, the huge prison complex, by then deserted, was stripped for everything that could be removed, including doors, windows, and bricks. The coalition authorities had the floor tiled, cells cleaned and repaired, and toilets, shower, and new medical center added. Abu Ghraib was now a US military prison. Most of the prisoners, however, by the fall there were several thousand, including women and teenagers, were civilians, many of whom had been picked up in random military sweeps and at highway checkpoints. They fell into 3 loosely defined categories: common, criminal, security detainees suspected of crimes against the coalition, and a small number of suspected.
I'm just ready to go. Let's go. Let's get this stuff done, over with.
High-value leaders of the insurgency against the coalition forces. An Army Reserve Brigadier General was the commander of the 1800 Military Police Brigade and put it in charge of military prisons in Iraq. The General Karpinski, the only female commander in the war zone, was an experienced operation and intelligence officer who had served with the Special Force and in 1991 Gulf War, but she had never run a prison system. and now she was in charge of 3 large jails, 8 battalions, and 3,400 reservists, most of whom, like her, had no training in handling prisons. Jenner Karpinski, who had wanted to be a soldier since she was 5, is a business consultant in civilian life and was enthusiastic about her new job. In an interview with the St. Petersburg Times, she said that for many of Iraqi inmates at Abu Ghraib, living conditions are now better in prison than at home. At one point, we were concerned that they wouldn't want to leave. This is how she valued their lives. I am being impressed. Another atrocity of American soldiers in the same country, Iraq. The collapse of the prosecution of Marine for civilian massacre in Haditha, Iraq. A striking outcome, even a military justice system with a mixed record of charging soldiers for war crimes, has not only outraged Iraqis, but also stunned some American military law specialists. It's travesty, said Eric S. Montalvo, a former prosecutor and defense counsel in the Marine Corps, who is now in private practice specializing in military law. In 2005 massacre, which came after a roadside bombing of Marine convoy, killed 24 Iraqis, including women, children, and men in a wheelchair. People who followed the case say it collapsed largely because of prosecutors' error, including giving immunity to squad mates, whose credibility as witness came into question, and tactical decisions that led to lengthy delay before the trial got underway. Another atrocity of American soldier organization, Azizabad airstrike, Afghanistan. The Azizabad airstrike was carried out by United States Air Force on Friday 22 August 2008 in a village of Azizabad, which is located in Shindat district, Herat province, Afghanistan. The airstrike killed an estimated 33 to 92 civilians, mostly children, and a number of structures in the village, including homes, were damaged or destroyed. Although there remains some dispute about the accuracy of these figures, a Taliban commander was intended target of the airstrike. American officials stated that Afghan soldiers were ambushed while in pursuit of a Taliban commander named Mullah Siddiq, and further stated that Taliban attackers fled to Azizabad. The retaliatory airstrike killed approximately 90 people and destroyed 8 homes, according to accounts of the American troops, aid workers, local villagers, and the report made by Afghanistan government. This was confirmed by the United Nations Assistance Mission in Afghanistan. The attack was carried out at night by US AC-130 ground attack aircraft. The purpose of the content is not to create any kind of violation against military organization. Of course, if they are doing wrong, we should put our words instead of putting them behind the curtains. Like to the video, subscribe to the channel. Goodbye.